All right, welcome everybody. Tonight's AMA is with Raider token. It's May 25th, 2022, and we're on their Variegate Telegram. A couple important disclosures. This AMA is for educational purposes only, and nothing said by those participating should be taken as financial advice. Do your own research, as always. And seriously, not financial advice. Real quick before we jump into Raider, just give a couple things about Varigate. This was started with 9 guys who were tired of rug pulls and scams and throwing money into projects that they thought were unique and had a real chance to find out the dev just left a month later and kind of left everything in the community just hanging. So the 9 of us got together. Josh and I were really the first two that started talking about this, started our community, and just came up with an idea um, of what we liked. And the thing that we all realized was that we all had various different passions about various different projects. um, myself, I'm very keen to contracts that are different in the DeFi space. Things that are not just, reflections for one token, and it doesn't really do anything for me. Um, I always thought, hey, why don't we try to build a contract that rewards different tokens? And then we can get into those communities and talk to them. And in doing so, we came up with this contract for Varigate where we reward 5 tokens throughout the week. It's all 100% community ran and voted on. And um, Monday through Thursday, there's one reward per day. And then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the highest voted project for that month is the one that is rewarded for the 3-day weekend. Um, we're 100% about community input. We look for vetted projects. Our rewards are going out to these projects, which in turn grows their wallet holder size or their holder size. I'm sorry. And at the same time, introduces our holders to other projects they might not have ever heard of. Um, when it comes to marketing, I don't want to say a dev because I wasn't. I was more like a moderator for a different project. And they put me in charge of finding marketing strategies. And something I came to learn was that all these influencers on Twitter and in Telegram channels, they all want money. And they'll put a tweet out, it costs $200. And at the same time, then you have people that are just, saying bad things about that project, even though you truly believe in it. So, what we want to do for our marketing is we want to have organic growth. We want to get into communities, talk to their devs, see if they're willing to come out, do AMAs, have their community engage with ours. So, anyways, so we want our organic growth for the marketing. We're not going to go out and try to push this to be a pump and dump and try to get all these people in all at once. We want to grow this over time. We want communities to interact with us. So that's the way that we feel that we're going with that. Voting, if you guys haven't seen, voting takes place on Telegram and Twitter as of now. We are planning on expanding that out to Discord and Reddit and all various socials that are out there. Buy and sell taxes. When we were talking about this, we wanted the majority of the tax to go towards the holders. One thing about our team is that we're 100% transparent and honest with you guys. There's nothing for us to hide. I am a full-time firefighter paramedic in the northeastern Illinois area. I live in southeastern Wisconsin. I have no problem fully doxing myself and telling the truth to everybody every single day. It's not an issue for me. So with that being said, our buy and sell taxes for buying, it's an 8% tax. 6% goes to the rewards, and then the 2% that's left over goes to development and whatever else might be needed, including liquidity injections. And to sell, it's 12%. 10% of that goes to the holders as rewards, and then the other 2%, same thing, liquidity and dev stuff. The LP is going to be locked. We haven't determined an exact time frame. We want to make sure that in case we ever have to upgrade the token or anything like that, that the LP is not left behind. We want to be able to transfer that over to V2 if that ever does happen. Um, and that's something that most likely will be voted on by the community. The pre-sale is going to be live. Well, it is live. Sorry, it is public now. Up until Friday, 5/27, 10 a.m. Eastern time. So we will be launching after that. We're not going to be telling anybody the time at this point to alleviate any snipes and bots and all that fun stuff. Um, so with all that being said, I'm pleased to have some members from one of our launch reward partners, Raider Token, here with us today. P, you're there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is anybody else here from Raider that's gonna be talking?
I think they're all a little shy right
Hey,
now.
you know what? This is my first AMA doing live, so I understand that 100%. All right, man. So welcome. Congratulations. You guys were like the first token that was voted on to become part of the community. I've been really excited to work with you guys. Um, so we'll just dive right in. Again, for anybody that's listening or listening to this, this is not financial advice. This is for quote unquote entertainment purposes. But anyways, P, can you give us an origin story of how Raider came to be?
Yeah, well, actually, it was very similar to what you guys are talking about. We were majority of us were part of another token called EarnHub, and we really believed in the project. We were kind of like duped by the devs. They had all these uh, they dangled many features in front of our faces, staking pools and plans for future NFT marketplace, and also there was a plan out there for like a casino kind of NFT casino kind of idea. Anyways, at the end, it turned out they were a rug, even though we poured our hearts and soul into the project. You know, we supported the heck out of the project, and they ended up rugging on us. And it was. I mean, the way they did it was kind of devious. They they made it seem as if somebody got into the contract through the staking pools, but it turned out that it was them the whole time. They kind of like left like a back door open where they can take have access to the liquidity, and they took all the money out. And eventually, we had a few members who were really good with blockchain, and we're able to trace them down and find who they were actually were in real person, in real life. They got their actual names and addresses and stuff like that, and they submitted that information to authorities. We haven't much heard much after that, but their names have been submitted and stuff, and their identities have. So the community stuck together though. Though the token was rug, the community did stick together in the Telegram, and eventually conversation came up amongst a couple of the members that maybe we can start our own token. Maybe we can start our own project ran by us by the community. So a couple of guys came with the idea, say, we want to make this very simple token that cannot be rugged whatsoever. That's why our LP our LP is locked for 80 years. We were trying to lock it like for 1,000 years or something like that. But the provider or the servers we were using only allowed a max of 80 years, so that's why it's locked for 80. If it was available for more, we would have done it for more. And the contract was renounced. Once the token was launched on Pancake Swap, the contract was immediately renounced, and I can't remember the actual number. I can't remember if it was 1 trillion tokens created, and like 80% of it 80% of it was burned. So there's really 172 million tokens in circulation, and we put a very simple tax. We wanted this to be very easily tradable, without um, taxing the holders too much. Sometimes you have a tax where it's like you've seen these tokens out here that have like a 15% in and a 15% out. Well, that's like a 30% tax on the holders. And that's kind of like it's great on a green market, but in a stagnant market or a red market, then it's an extra like burden on the holders. So we just put something very simple, very easy to get in and out of, a 1% tax. And then we didn't make any extra wallets. We didn't make any death controlled wallets for safety reasons. We don't have a marketing wallet. We don't have a burn wallet, a buyback and burn wallet, because all these wallets are controlled usually by devs or somebody in the team, and that's what we were trying to avoid. Being that that's what happened to us with EarnHub. So we wanted to make it where anybody that decides to invest in this token in this project can feel 100% safe. The only thing they're susceptible to is market action, just standard regular market price going up, going down, which is what's happening now, right? And um and our simple 1% tax, 100% of that goes right back to the holders. And being that we only have 172 million tokens, it's a really really good number. When the volume picks up again, when we launched the token, we had a really good volume, and you can really see how powerful a 1% tax at such a low circulating supply can actually be. I'm talking about really good numbers. Um, yeah, I think that covers it all. If I forgot anything, there's plenty guys here that can fill in some details, some holes. Maybe I missed something. I'm not sure if I did.
That's cool. What made you want to burn that supply? Like the 80, like how did you guys come up with that number?
Well, that was actually it was so it was more like a mishap. It was more it was actually a mistake. Well, the burn wasn't a mistake. It was why it came about. So when the token was being deployed, so it was like our first time doing this kind of stuff, right? First time deploying a token and all of this stuff. So there was a issue that only a certain amount was added to Pancake Swap liquidity. Like I think it was like the 172 million, and the rest was left out in a developer wallet. Before the wallet, before that wallet was renounced, and then all the tokens sent to the burn wallet. But so yeah, it was just a mistake. We're like, well, what do we do with this with these extra tokens? Like it's like a huge amount. I'm talking about a huge amount of tokens in this development wallet. And so we pretty much among the community decided, well, let's turn it into a burn wallet, because we don't want to have any developer wallet. We don't want the wallets in any developer's hands. So we send it into a burn wallet and then cut it off completely from reflections. So that big burn wallet doesn't get any of the reflections either. So all the reflections do go back to the holders. So I mean, it was kind of like a mistake, but it turned out to be a really good thing because it does amplify the amount of reflections we get.
Sure. That's cool. Personally, I'm a big fan of like lower supply tokens, like the 17 trillion token supplies, and people claim to be hyper deflation. It's like, nah, that's not how it really works. But that's very cool, man. And is there a 1% tax on the transfers as well?
Yes, 1%, 1% buy, sell, and transfers,
Okay,
and all that goes right back to the holders.
very cool. All right, well let's move on to utilities. You guys are more like day tradable, obviously, because of low tax, right? Is there any other things?
Yes, sir. There's some guys. We have some members working on NFT marketplace. We currently have like a lottery going on, and among the members, where you buy a certain amount of tickets, and numbers are drawn, and you get a certain prize, all paid out in Raider token. There's some more stuff being worked on right now. I can't really get into detail. There's other members working on a utility that, if they pull it through, is going to be very, very, very helpful. I'm talking about it's gonna go beyond. It'll go beyond just Raider token. It'll be something that anybody who's looking to buy into any project can use this utility. And yeah, I don't really want to go into detail right now, because those two guys that are working on it right now aren't in here, but I don't want to put their stuff out there yet. But
No,
it's going to be a very useful tool.
Can you expand a little bit more on the lottery thing? Because I'm a big gambler myself.
Okay. Original Mike, do you understand the lottery better than I do, or Selena, do you understand it a little better than I do? If you can explain it for me,
No, I'm not good with the
or
lottery.
Glove.
I've tried to look it over, but I haven't really had too much time to grasp. I know it's one of those things where you have to buy so many and also share so many, but
Yeah. So from what I understand, it's I participated in myself, and I don't understand it about participating. So it's based on the NFTs. We have local artists who create NFTs, and we make them very low price at the moment. I think it's point zero 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 five BNB. I mean, just a few, just I think pennies. I'm sure. And but we go of the European. Not the U.S. lottery. I'm not the European lottery, I guess. And we go by those numbers. So the numbers or the winners are not drawn by us. It's not drawn by any of the team members. It's actually drawn by the national lottery. So we go off their numbers.
Oh,
So yeah, it can never be rigged. It's not like you know you and I get along. You buy some NFTs and then you tell me your number. I say, hey man, I'll hook you up. I'll make you the winner. So that'll never happen.
gotcha. Where do you get those NFTs at?
Uh, we on the web on our Telegram we have the link. It's I think the place is called Liquidify.
Okay.
Yes, so we have a Raider token has a page set up on Liquidify. If you go on our Telegram, I can have one of these guys post it on the main chat, and you can go in there and see what we have. We just it's new. We just started doing it. So of course, it's gonna get better as we go along. We'll get more artists and more creativity in there.
Gotcha. All right. So you can buy the NFTs with the BNB and then like the whole lottery thing. Like, do you have to like stake your tokens anywhere, or is it just tokens
N-
rewarded?
No, nothing like that. Tokens are just rewarded. You don't have to stake your token. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to stay away from those token pools too, because around that time that EarnHub got rugged, it was through their staking pools. And I don't remember, I can't remember the time that it happened exactly, the month and the time, but around that time, there were many, many projects that were getting infiltrated through their staking contracts, because I guess there was a common vulnerability amongst different staking protocols. And there are many, many tokens, different projects getting rugged at the same time, or getting scammed, or getting hacked to their staking pool. So we wanted to stay away from that. There's talk of eventually doing doing some sort of staking with Raider token. It's just we're trying to work it out where it's safe, because we don't want to. I mean, that is our main purpose, is to provide really good reflections. So like our reflections are, you got tokens that have 10% reflections. Well, you see more reflections with this 1% reflection token than you do with a 10% reflection token, mainly because our supply is so low. Majority of supplies you're talking about, majority of tokens are on like these reflection tokens. You're talking about quadrillion tokens, and maybe half of those burnt, but it's still a huge number. When
Right.
you're talking about 600 trillion tokens, even though you have a 10% reflection or whatever, it's almost nothing. You know,
Right.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, in the future, I think we are going to get into the staking, but we're trying to work it out where it's very, very safe for our holders. I mean, that is our main purpose, is to
Sure.
give investors a safe token to invest in. And there's also another aspect of the token where we're gonna start implementing it pretty soon, where we're gonna make these divisions where we kind of like go after um projects that have rug, communities that have rug, but we're gonna investigate and try to dox these kind of like ghost devs that rug on their communities, So we did it. We've done it with EarnHub, with the guys that at Rug EarnHub, and we can do it with others as well. We just got to get a little organized, but we are going to go after devs that have Rug on their communities, undoxed devs, and we're going to dox them. And we're gonna and the tool that I was talking about earlier kind of relates something to that. It relates to being able to, in a sense, follow the money, enter a contract in and be able to follow the money all the way through without having to without having to be too blockchain savvy, which most investors aren't. Most investors can't read blockchain. So the tool we're trying to make is more of a plug in an address and then follow the money, where it automatically follows the money to every address that it's been. So yeah, but I mean it's more of a future plans, but that is our goal is safety and then investigations.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
actually
so
it's
we
kind of
can
cool. It's
expose these scam projects and educate future investors on what to look out for. Because at that time we didn't want to hear anybody telling us, "Hey, you guys are," there were people out there telling us. There were other communities trying to warn us, like, "Hey, the guys that run your project, they're pretty well known in the crypto world, and those guys are known to be scammers," and we didn't want to hear it, because we were all about the project and we were buying everything they were telling us. We were drinking the Kool-Aid, and we didn't want to hear it. So it's like being through that, we don't want to see anybody else go through it. And we just we're working on the best way to deliver that information and educate people on what to look out for, what to watch out for, what are the red flags that you need to watch that might hint at that you're in a possible rug pool or a future rug pool.
have any of your devs doxed themselves?
What what being that this contract is renowned, like nobody really has access to this contract. So the person that did, there was the person that actually made this token. He's no longer with us. So I think he sold out a long time ago, soon after we launched, and he's no longer in charge of this project. Even if he was here, he has nobody has access to the contract. Nobody has access to the LP. So like looking at it, like what benefit would it be for anybody to be doxxed? Like the people running the project now is just all community members. Nobody was given any special privileges. No one was given special privileges on launch. There were no special wallets. Everybody bought in fair.
Yeah, I
Everybody
get it.
bought in at the same price. You know, you know how some projects they start out, the developers automatically have a wallet, and they're given certain amount of tokens. But not us. Everybody kind of like just bought in at launch. It was a very fair launch. So just don't see the benefit of doxing anybody, because there
Gotcha.
really is nobody right now to dox. The one person that created the token, he's gone, has no access to the contract anymore. So everybody that's in here now, we're all just community members.
Very cool. Um, Besides Pancake Swap, where else can you purchase your token? If there's any.
If I'm not mistaken, it's Affinity Adapt, I think it's called Affinity Adapt.
Oh, the Adapt Exchange.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a few more. I can't remember right now. I
that's
don't
actually
know
kind
if
of cool because they're one of our rewards also.
yeah, they're pretty cool people.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and do you guys have a website?
It's RaiderToken.net.
I think I've asked. Is there anything else that you want to mention, or
No, I think pretty much covered, unless I missed something. Original Mike, Selena, or gloves. Think of anything that I might have missed out, guys.
I think that was good. I'm just at a chaotic restaurant right now, but what I did here was pretty thorough. You seem to cover everything.
all right? Well, I mean, I really don't know if I have any more questions. Does anybody in the room have any questions? I can
Can I
see.
ask you a question?
Yeah.
What project did you guys come from? There, you guys were rug.
I man, dude, for me personally, I hit it big in Safe Moon, right? So for like over the course of the year, I did a lot of bad trades, and I've had numerous projects that ditched out on me. The way that a few of us met was a project called 6 Day Honeypot, and the dev is actually he's a great guy. I mean, I still somewhat talk to him to this day, but the whole idea was is that you can only buy 6 days a week, and then on Sundays you could sell up to I think it was like 25% of your tokens. So the whole idea was run the chart up for an entire week. Well, they had an issue with the contract the first week that they launched, and anybody that bought pre-sale could just dump their 100% of their bag. So the price tanked, and then right after that, he kind of ghosted the entire community. So I picked it up trying to help out, and it just wasn't going anywhere. So there
That's
there are definitely some
I
people in
remember
this
seeing that.
community
That's
from
pretty
that
recent,
community.
isn't it?
What's that?
That's a pretty recent project, isn't it? I remember seeing that 6 day rug full project.
Yeah, man, it had a great idea behind it, and if it would have taken off, it would have been taken off. But there were just too many issues at the beginning, and he just ghosted the whole community. So, but that's in turn, it's kind of a blessing because that's where I've met half the guys on our team that were tired of people just ghosting and ditching projects, and it was like, you know what, let's all come together and come up with something. And I love being on Telegram personally. I love being on Twitter and just talking to people. So
Yeah, yeah, and that's pretty much what we did. Is the same thing. We really enjoyed the community, and we didn't want to let go of the community, so we stuck together and said, let's just make our own project where where this can't happen to anybody again. Of course, everybody's doing kind of terrible right now because the entire market is doing terrible, right? But when things turn around, I think everybody's going to see the benefit of having such a contract.
how long you been in crypto for?
Maybe around 2 years.
All right. Um,
Yeah.
some advice for you guys, because like you just said, like it is definitely a bear market right now, is take this time, take these, next year or two and really put time into your project so that when the market does turn, you guys can hit it hard running and it'll just take off. It takes time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the advice.
So, all right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I'm at the firehouse and I got some stuff I still have to get done. Um, thank you again, P, for coming out and talking. Really appreciate it. Excited to have you guys listed, and we'll go from there. Launch again is this Friday, and I know some members from our team are going to fully dox ourselves as well for anybody that's going to be listening to this. Um, I have no problem if you know who I am, because yeah, I'm me. So, all
Well,
right. Well, I guess
thank you,
yeah.
thank
Thanks,
you for
guys.
having us,
Appreciate it.
and good luck
Thanks for
with your
coming on,
project.
P.
It
Thanks
sounds
for hosting that.
like a really great thing that you guys are doing here.
I
Appreciate it,
did.
man.
Before we
Take
go,
it
I
easy.
did put the link in your Telegram for the or lottery.
I saw that.
And,
Thank you.
okay.
So,
And yes, thanks for having us on.
oh, anytime. And you know what? If you guys ever have any community update, I was going to say this too. If you guys ever have any community updates, by all means, drop in. Let us know because we're always open to talking about stuff. And we can list you guys for a couple months and keep going. You know, let's do it.
Sounds good. Awesome.
All right. You guys have a great night. Thanks again.
Thank you.